Hello and welcome to day 4 of our 30-day yoga therapy challenge. Today we're going to continue to explore movement of the arms, but we're going to bring in a little bit more of the body, and we're going to explore more fluidity in the movement along with our breath, and we'll get some rhythmic movement in there as well, which I'll talk about a little bit more in a moment. So we don't need any props today. You just need a space where you can lie down either on the floor or on your bed. And have some space behind you so you can move your arms as well. So let's take a moment and get ourselves set up. I'm going to lie down on my yoga mat in a constructive rest position. And if it feels like you need a little bit of support behind your head, if it feels like your head is dropping back, or if it feels uncomfortable behind your hips or your low back, you can bring a low folded blanket underneath your pelvis. So just take a couple moments to make yourself comfortable. Feel your heels against the floor. Maybe even sensing into the base of the big toes and the base of the baby toes. Grounded through the feet. Knees are bent, hip distance apart. Notice the weight of your pelvis, sensing the back of your sacrum against the ground, and the back of the shoulders, and the back of your arms, and the back of your head. Just letting yourself begin to settle, and just breathe softly. And then very gently begin to gradually lengthen your inhales and your exhales. Still breathing in and out through your nose. And as your breath begins to lengthen, maybe you start to notice where you feel the movement of the breath. The fluidity of the breath in your body. And maybe this is a visualization of the breath moving down towards the pelvis as you inhale and the breath flowing back up as you exhale, or maybe the direction is opposite, breath flowing up as you inhale and flowing down as you exhale. If counting your breath is helpful, you can gradually lengthen the count every round or so. Keeping it gentle without having to strain or force it to be longer than it wants to be. Feel how your breath fills the rib cage and the belly. Full breath in. Full breath all the way out until you can't exhale anymore. Inhale in. And exhale all the way out. Now let's add this. Inhale, filling up your body completely. And as you exhale, evenly engage across your abdomen as if your belly's evenly flattening all the way across as you exhale. Let the belly soften as the rebounding inhale fills the body. And then exhale, flattening, engaging the abdomen. Breath all the way out. 2 more rounds the same way. Last one. Continue breathing long, full breaths, but let the belly fully relax now. next exhale, slide the right leg all the way down. And the following exhale, slide the left leg all the way down. If having both legs straight feels uncomfortable for your back or your hips or your neck, if there's strain anywhere, you feel more comfortable with the knees bent, please keep the knees bent. You can do the next part of the exercise from here. So I'll start with my knees bent, and then I'll also show it with my legs straight. We're just gonna start with the arms. They're still nice, long, full breaths. With an inhale, the arms will float up into the air. And exhale, the arms come back down. Linking movement and breath. Maybe staying in that range that you did when you did arms to sky in our first session. So the back doesn't have to arch and the ribs don't have to poke up. Doing only as much as you need to and nothing more. Movements with the breath. Inhaling. At the top of the inhale, we pause. And then for the full exhale, the arms start to come down, touching the ground at the end of the exhale, finding fluidity and flow in the movements, linking with our breath. And we're going to begin to add the legs. So follow my instructions. Inhale, the arms come up. As you exhale, hug the right knee in. So the hands come on top of the knee, hugging the knee towards the chest. And then when the inhale comes, you release the leg down and the arms come back up. On the next exhale, hugging the left knee in. Releasing on the inhale, stretching the arms up. And then exhale, coming back to the right leg. Reaching the arms up and back on the inhales. Hugging the opposite leg in on the exhales. Continue to move with your breath, alternating legs. If the legs are down, they just have further to go. So let's inhale up, exhale, hug the leg in. And as you inhale, the leg comes down and the arms come up. Coordinating movement with your breath. As you move in this way, once you start to feel comfortable with the coordination of breath, maybe start to notice what it feels like for your arm bones, your upper arms to move in the shoulder sockets, for your thighs, for your upper legs to move in your hip sockets. Is there a degree of ease and effortlessness? Is there strain? Are you really straining through your back or your pelvis? If that's the case, start from a place where your feet are on the floor so the knees are bent instead of having the legs straight. Or explore both and see what feels the best for you today. Inhaling, stretching long, exhaling, hugging in. Let's keep going. So know that you can stop at any time. Remember that each practice is an invitation. And we'll all be going at different speeds depending on the length of your breath or the capacity of your breath. And that reminds me, I want to teach you guys an exercise to help increase breathing capacity. That'll have to be a bonus for another time. But if I forget, if it doesn't come soon, remind me. Let's do 2 more on each side so that we finish on the left. And after your last one, resting either in constructive rest or with your legs down and your arms by your side. Resting here. Gentle, natural breath. Just notice what you're experiencing physically, energetically, emotionally, spiritually. Just notice. If the legs are straight, bend one knee, bringing the foot onto the floor, and then the other. And we'll roll to one side and find our way up to either sitting or standing. So you can sit in a chair, you can sit on the floor. And then just notice how you feel in an upright position. And let's bring our hands together and interlace the fingers, interlace angel style, so your index fingers are pointing up. And I've got the forearms fairly close. They don't have to be touching. And then we're going to trace our pointer fingers or index fingers in a figure eight. And we're just gently working through our wrists. And watching your fingers trace that figure eight in the air. My wrists are really kind of clicking and crunching, so I'm just kind of experimenting with going a little bit smaller and a little bit slower and see if, yeah, that changes things up. That's kind of cool. But I kind of lost my figure eight. There we go. So now I'm going to challenge you, we're going to challenge our brain to figure eight now in the opposite direction. Don't hold your breath, keep breathing. This might be a little bit challenging. And again, we're just offering our brain, we're offering our body more variability, more options. And options are good, because if we ever get injured or hurt, we want our body to be able to move, function, and operate with a lot of different options, many different ways. In case one option is taken away, we don't want to have that be our only option, right? Okay. Now give your arms and your wrists a little shake. Shake it out. So, in a moment, we're going to explore some rhythmic movement, and we're going to do this from standing. And again, I'm going to give several options and take what works and leave what doesn't. And we're going to explore from standing some bouncing movements. So if you know, or if you experience pain through the knees, or kind of like a rattling in your head or something like that, start from sitting, because you can still do the same kind of movement from sitting. Just make sure your feet are on the floor and explore from there. That might take some of the impact out of like your whole system, and so it will feel more gentle. So finding a comfortable place, just watch the space around you that you're not going to bump into anything or knock anything over. We'll start with our feet flat on the floor, and we're just going to start to bounce. So notice the movement through the knees, movement through the ankles, through the hips. Let your arms start to, let your elbows bend. We draw your shoulders up and down. Just shake out your arms. Shake out your wrists. And you can explore to any degree that you want. So I'm really like flinging my arms to the point where it's actually kind of hard for me to talk. But you don't have to do it this much. You can go smaller, you can go slower, lighter, however. If you want to be more of a jiggle or a bounce, you can see what it feels like to bring the legs a little bit wider. Now I'm kind of bouncing my heels. See what that feels like. Or you can come right up onto the balls of the feet so the heels don't even touch the ground. Maybe jumping. Shaking out the arms. If it feels okay, maybe let your head get involved. Bouncing, whew, falling over, bouncing your head, shaking the arms out to the side, and then the other side. And you're taking the arms up, hips side to side, shake your arms, to one side and then the other. Maybe exploring kind of a punching motion or a pushing motion. See what that feels like. I kind of like the up and down. Then try this. Direct your movement down towards the ground. So it's down, down, and you're pushing your energy down towards the floor, down into the ground, rounding it down. See if you can keep breathing through your nose. Know you can take a break at any time. Down. Maybe bend over a little bit. Let your head hang. Movement might be a little bit more now to the legs, but keep shaking at the arms. And if you're in a chair, you can try this still. You're just hinging forward. That doesn't feel good, stay upright. And then maybe let's come onto one foot. Hold on to something if you need to. We're gonna shake out one leg. Fling the ankle, shake the leg, shake it out. Like you're kicking, almost kicking away, down towards the floor. Energy from your hip, down your leg. And then try the other side. And you can do it just still, focusing on the leg, or you can bounce and shake at the same time. You can try different variations. And then come back to bouncing on two legs. And for about 10 more seconds, shake it all out, down towards the ground. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's come back into stillness, finding the 3 points of your feet. Feel your heart beating. Eyes can be opened or closed. Breathing softly. Let's bring our palms together and rub your hands together in a circle. And then the other way. And up and down. Press your palms together. And then place your hands over your eyes, blocking out all the light. Take a full breath in through your nose and exhale out your mouth. And again. One more time. Keeping the eyes closed, bring your palms together in front of your heart. Taking a moment to recognize and honor your practice today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're feeling really energized after doing that rhythmic movement, maybe explore some of the previous movements that we've done this week, or come back down to lying on your back, maybe in a constructive rest with the knees bent. And just rest here for as long as you need. Whatever you choose to do, I hope you have a great balance of your day, and I look forward to joining you tomorrow. Have a great day.